My favorite animal are lions. Not necessarily related to the fact that my favorite team is the BC Lions, but I love lions. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been fascinated with these big, majestic creatures. I've always thought they were absolutely amazing. When I go to the zoo, the first thing I want to check out is the lions. And when I go and check them out, I'm packing a lunch because I'm going to be there for a while and just observing them. That being said, I don't necessarily think I'd want to actually go and hang out with a lion. I'm good at a distance. That's why people like Kevin Richardson, the Lion Whisperer, and Siegfried and Roy are so fascinating to me, because here they've been able to come up and develop relationships with these creatures. Now, Kevin Richardson, of course, is a huge YouTube sensation. He does a lot of great work in South Africa with lions, and usually when you see him with lions, it's like 2 or 3 at a time, and he's pretty interesting. But he has got absolutely nothing on the filmmakers of the movie Roar. Now, Roar is a movie that came out in 1971, but it's a movie that I just recently had the chance to see as it was re-released this year. Now, when it was re-released this year, again, I was excited because I'd never heard of the movie, and it gave me an opportunity to see it. So it's not playing in any theaters right now, but I was able to track it down on iTunes. Now, the movie stars Tippi Hedren and her husband at the time, Noel Marshall. But what's even more interesting is Tippi's daughter, Melanie Griffith, who of course a lot of people know was the mother of Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades and How to Be Single fame. Now, this movie was made in 1971, so keep in mind you're not going to be seeing this huge blockbuster special effects type of movie. Okay, Keith, we know you like lions. We know this movie came out in 1971, so what's the big deal? What's it about? Well, let me tell you. They wanted to make a movie that showed that humans could interact well with lions. Can they or can't they? I'm not necessarily here to be judge and jury, but what was fascinating about this movie is even from the opening shot, you're seeing a man come home and being surrounded by about 30 lions or so. There's probably about 150 large cats that were used in this movie. And when I say used in this movie, I'm not kidding. They're everywhere. From scenes where somebody might get pushed into a lake and then all of a sudden lions and tigers are jumping in the lake. Or somebody goes into the front foyer of the house and there's like a ton of lions hanging around. Now, they raised these lions from cubs, and one of the taglines in the trailer, which I've posted below, shows is that no animal was hurt during the making of this movie, but 70 humans were. In fact, if you guys remember the movie Speed, the director of Speed, Jan de Bont, was actually the director of photography on this movie, Roar, and there's a picture of him getting scalped, not getting scalped, but the after effects of him being scalped by one of the lions. Now, the plot of the movie is as follows. The main character basically is looking after these lions, and he's looking to get a grant. Some people come by the house. They're not sure if they should get him the grant or not. So he goes out on some sort of a day trip. While he's gone, his wife and 3 kids decide, hey, let's go visit Dad and see what he's up to. They go to the house, and at first everything's quiet, and then the next thing you know, there's lions everywhere. It's one of these movies that you're watching and you think to yourself, how in the world is this like happening? And yes, there's some really bad trick photography in there, that and the editing's a little choppy, but when you see somebody running from a lion, they're like legitimately running from a lion. When you see a lion going crazy, a lion's going crazy. The movie was made on a budget of $17 million. It made 2 at the box office. So for all intents and purposes, the movie was a flop. So Keith, why are you talking to us about it? Is it just because you like lions? Because it is probably one of the most fascinating movies that I've ever seen. Is it one of the best? Absolutely not. But it's definitely one of the most fascinating movies that I've ever seen. The very fact that they were able to take these completely uncontrollable co-stars and make this type of a movie back in the 70s blows my mind. A movie that's up for Best Picture right now, Revenant, they have this big bear scene in that movie, CGI. This movie, no CGI. So if you get the chance to check this out, I strongly recommend heading over to iTunes and checking it out, or seeing if you can get it from another platform. It's definitely worth your time. If I was to grade this movie, I'd give it a B, B minus. Let's go B minus. The acting is not great. The dialogue is basic. What makes this movie fascinating is never before have I ever seen humans and lions interact in such a way and have so many of them at once. Um, I don't, as much as I like lions, I don't think there's enough money to pay me to have been on that set. But anyways, check it out and let me know what you think. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier and WittyWhittier.com. My name is Keith. I appreciate you, as always, checking this out. If you like this review, please feel free to share it with your friends. And if you don't, nobody likes a whiner. Thank you so much for taking the time. We'll talk to you soon. And as always, I'll see you at the movies.